So that way you get your 3. Then you go this way, you get your 3. Then you have to go through and around and then back through. And now I'll come back through here, and I have to do that 3 times. And this is the hard part, and when you do this, do it loose. So you get it like that. I'm going to pause this here for a second. I'm doing this with a 100-foot rope, so I have a lot of tail I have to pull through there. But as you can see, I have my 3. I only have 1 going this way. And each time this is nice and loose, I can open it up, push it through. Once I stack 3 of them in here, I'll show you how you add the weight. But I'm just going to keep following this through there, back through there, until I stack it up on 3 and 3. Okay, so now it still looks pretty loose, pretty sloppy, but I have my 3 in each direction. So I have my 1, 2, 3, my 1, 2, 3, my 1, 2, 3, and I have a 100-foot tail on this thing. There we go, maybe. So there's the start of it right there. So I'm just going to use a nut for my weight. Okay, so here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's the start of it. I had a 100-foot rope. It used about 10 feet to make this. I got about a 90-foot tail. It's a lot of tail to have to pull through each time. Now for my weight, I'm using a nut. Now this is still pretty loose, pretty sloppy at this point. So right there, you gotta kind of make yourself a hole, and you just kind of push it all out of the way. But you make a big hole you can get your nut into, or your ball bearing, or whatever you're going to use. You get it in there, and then you get all your line back, and you shouldn't really even tell that you just put that in there. So it looks like this. Now, here's the tail. You pull on the tail, this one moves here. So, okay, that's the first one I'm going to tighten. Then it comes over here, so I'm going to tighten that down. Snug it nice and tight. It comes this way. I'm going to tighten it down that way. Some people like to hide the tail. I don't. Now as you tighten it, this is what you don't want to happen. These 3 are not stacked side by side. They're starting to crush. So that becomes too tight. So you have to kind of keep them side by side. So it's got to be a little looser than that. There you go. That's about right there. So there's that. And then it pulls this way. And you can see how it stacks up a little nicer there once it's tighter. And then I'll pull it back this way. And then I'll pull it back this way. So, pull it that way. Pull it this way. Now, this here is going to be like that, and this is going to go over top of it. So as you're tightening this thing down, this is how it looks. And you know, you might have to tighten it 2 or 3 times to get it the way you want it. So I now can't get this to pull here. I can't pull this. I don't have the ability to. So take your needle nose, you grab it, you can pull it. Now I can get a finger in there, and I can pull that loop through. When you get on your last 3, it becomes a lot harder to get them to stack right. And that's why you might need to do it a couple times, walking around the whole thing, pulling up the slack. So anyways, there's my, that's a little better, my 3. There's my tail where I started. I will be taking that with my needle nose, be tucking it underneath of the right there. So that'll just tuck underneath. But I have 3, 3, 3. I'm probably going to go around this one more time to get some of, like, this one's not quite as tight as these ones, just to tighten it up a little bit more. But that's the basic gist of the monkey's fist. Now, like, this one has 4 layers. So instead of 3 each one, you would do 4. Same for a 5 layer, you know, with that nut in there and the weight of the line itself. This is fairly heavy.